Hey guys, so I'm out of the classroom today. So I just wanted to quick make a video to explain what you guys are responsible for doing today while I'm out. Make sure that you guys are following the agenda and that you guys are following our 3 pillars. So again, even when I'm out, we should always be following our trust, respect, and responsibility. So for responsibility, make sure you complete the assignments that you're given today. For trust, make sure you're using your computer for academic purposes, that you don't have your cell phone out, you're not texting or anything like that, and that you're being polite to others and you're not disrupting others from doing their work. Because when you get up and visit another table, you're actually distracting them, and it's not very respectful of their class time. So make sure you're being respectful as well. Okay, before we start, I wanted to go over real quick mitosis with you. You are expected to remember what is mitosis, what happens before mitosis, and how to recognize the phases by looking at a picture. So if you guys look at this image here, this is the cell cycle, the cycle of life of a cell. And remember, we need to make new cells because cells die, they get damaged, or just because we grow. And we went from one cell to the 100 trillion cells that we are today. And so this kind of shows the cycle of life of a cell. If you look here, the biggest chunk of a cell's life is called interphase. And interphase is basically preparation to divide. It's not actually dividing, it's getting ready. And there are 3 phases you guys need to remember for interphase. If we look here at this yellow circle, this is representing a cell. The blue circle inside is the nucleus, and the red lines are the DNA. And remember, before a cell can divide, it has to actually physically get bigger. So we call this G1 phase, G1 for growth. That way when the cell eventually does divide, the new cell is the same size as the original. So you need to remember G1 is growth. Then our new cell is going to need some DNA. So it goes through a phase in which it duplicates its DNA, doubles the amount of DNA it has inside the nucleus. And we call this S phase, S for synthesize, which means to make more of, to create. So it has to create more DNA. And then it just gets a little bit bigger, and again we call this G2, the second phase of growth. So again, this is interphase. When the cell grows, copies its DNA, and grows some more, it's just getting ready for cell division. Then a cell actually divides in a process called mitosis. Mitosis is cell division. And we're going to go over how it's supposed to happen, the normal steps of mitosis. I'm going to show you through a little interactive here, a little animation rather. So if we look here at the cell, it has a nucleus and it has 4 strands of DNA. 2 of them are green, 2 of them are orange, just to show that we get half our genetic information from mom and half from dad. So that's why they're different colors. It would have grown in interphase. Next, it's going to show you S phase, where they duplicated the DNA, so there it just duplicated, and then it would go through G2, where it would grow a little bit more. Now that it's ready to divide, we go through mitosis. And to remember the correct order of steps for mitosis, you have to remember the saying PMAT, for prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So this is what those phases look like. So for prophase, the nucleus goes away, so that's prophase right now. In metaphase, the chromosomes line up in the middle. Middle. Next, it's anaphase. The chromosomes get pulled apart. Then it's telophase. We see 2 cells, and then cytokinesis cuts those 2 cells in half. And that's mitosis. Those are the steps, and that's what you're expected to remember. At the end of mitosis, we get 2 identical daughter cells. So 2 cells that are exactly the same DNA. So again, if we lose a cell, we want to replace it with an exact copy. And that's mitosis. Okay, so make sure you know that. Okay, for the remainder of the class period, look at your agenda. Make sure you move on, so as you finish one thing, you move down to the next thing. Just keep on working until the end of the class period. Really fast, on number 2, play the mitosis game, which is a quick game to make sure you remember what happens in each phase. You only have to do it a few times until you feel like you know it. Then number 3, you're going to watch this video called How Do Cancer Cells Behave? It relates cancer with cell division. It's going to ask you some questions as you guys watch the video. So you'll need to log in and then answer those. It should be easy as long as you're paying attention. You will need your headphones to watch the video. And then after you're done with that, you're going to do the district assessment. Now here's the thing about this district assessment. The district is mandating that all biology classes take this. At New Tech, we go in a different order. We learn things in a different order than the regular biology classes. So this assessment is mostly made out of questions that we haven't covered yet. It's mostly about ecology, and we're not going to get there until the spring. So you're going to look at this test and wonder why you're taking it, but it's a good pre-assessment for me. So at least it'll let me know what information you already know coming into high school about ecology, about food webs, food chains, things like that. So even though we haven't learned it yet, do try your best. Make sure you are reading each question carefully and that you're really trying to select the best response. Okay, so even though we haven't learned it yet, try your best. To log in, you'll click on the link that says District Assessment. Your username is your student ID, and your password is student, all in lowercase letters. So that's how you're going to get into it. I think it's like 27, 28 questions or something like that. Again, try your best. Don't speed through the exam. Read them carefully. And then whatever time remaining in class you have, you will work on your project. There's a link that tells you important dates and deadlines when you need to have certain things done for your project. If you look at it, by Tuesday, you need to have all your research completed. So you have the rest of today and Tuesday to finish all your research. And then that next class period, every group must have their board and be working on their boards. When you're working on projects, make sure you're not visiting other tables. Be respectful of other people working. And making sure that, again, you're using technology how you're supposed to. All right, so that's the agenda for today, and you guys can go ahead and get started.